Welcome to the channel, guys. We're gonna jump right into this 6th gen 4Runner kind of walk around video. We picked this up literally 6 days ago. This is the first one in the Northwest. Went over there. This is an SR5 base model. There's nothing super fancy about it. We got cloth seats, smaller screen. Still has like the cruise control, and surprisingly, a lot of what I would have considered an upgraded as like a tech package came based with this. So there's like blind spot monitoring from behind, backup camera. There's even remote start. That's if I can do it. Frick, I don't even know how to do it. We've done it twice. Anyway, so I want to start from the front of the vehicle, show you guys some of the things that we've kind of learned about this vehicle over the past 6 days. As you can see, it's pretty outfitted. We jumped right into it with CBI and a few other companies getting products here that would be able to showcase what this vehicle is capable of. And there are some surprises in this vehicle that I'm excited to share with you guys that are relevant to like the 4th gen Tacoma and just a few other platforms that Toyota and Lexus have just released. So let's go to the front of the vehicle. So the 4Runner is powered by the same drivetrain as the Tacoma. Literally everything's the same. Engine is the turbocharged 4-liter or 4-cylinder. Turbo is still on the passenger side. It's got the 8-speed transmission. So the driving experience is very, very similar to the Tacoma. The difference is this has more weight to it, and so the ride is a lot smoother. It does feel a lot more planted. Also, considering that this is on 35s now opposed to 37s that our Tacoma is on, it does feel like a more solid ride. Now that we've added the rack, a little bit of suspension, my designer who drives this vehicle has said it feels a bit like topsy-turvy a little bit. The suspension is really soft, which is something that we saw on the 5th gen 4Runner as well. You'd push on the brake and it would kind of like lean forward on you. Doesn't happen as bad with this vehicle, but you still kind of get some of the same effects. This one does not have it. You also can get an accessory port right here where you can connect in like auxiliary lights. There's 3 auxiliary 1, 2, and 3. So if you get the tech option, it'll pop out right here. Then moving to the outside of the front of the vehicle, the headlights are the same. The only thing that's different is on the inside right here on the top, you can actually read, they have it imprinted, it says 4Runner. Okay? I mean, if you can find some differences, let me know. The only difference that I can find is right here. There's a little Easter egg on the headlight that actually says 4R, and it's the front of a like the front facing view of the 4Runner. When on the Tacoma, it's a side view of the Tacoma. Fog lights are the same, and then a lot of the mounting on the front is the same, even to the point where I think we could swap over a Tacoma clip onto the front of this thing, because it looks like the fenders are the same, headlights are the same, and even their fender flares are the same. And if that's the case, we might be able to do a straight swap just like they can do on from a Tundra to a Sequoia and vice versa. There might be some additional bracketry you have to make, but that is something that we're going to test out, so stay tuned for that. Basically, this whole section all the way to the back doors, the front doors, is almost identical to the Tacoma. We've done some measurements and there are some differences, but man, they are very, very subtle. For the fender flares, we tossed in our fender flare decals just to make this thing stand out a little bit more, kind of make it our own. We drove down to CBI over at Idaho Falls Monday morning early and got to work adding a bunch of aftermarket accessories. They had previously already gone down to Toyota in California, done a bunch of 3D scans to be able to start development of products. And so now they just need to test fit them. Surprisingly, everything fit flawlessly. The only thing that didn't is on their original roof rack. One of these mully panels kind of had a tight fit back through here, but other than that, everything fit amazing. This is their Pro Rack, which differs from their original one. The original one doesn't have a right angle bin on the outside plate, and then it does not have an interior plate that bolts together, giving it extra strength and rigidity. So we tossed on the Pro Rack. The one thing I was very, very impressed with is that this front foot, the way that they have it engineered, the lowest that this rack can go with these screws is just enough pressure to keep this thing from wobbling. Because I've installed a lot of these racks, and a lot of the time when you have this foot that's only pressurized or stuck on, this front end will move around and kind of rattle when you off-road because it is able to flex. With the Pro Rack, due to the dual layers and the right angle, you don't get that effect anymore. And the pressure on that foot was perfect. So I was super impressed with that. Then you have your two other ones back here that have a grommet and then silicone through. On the Pro Rack, they also have their cross rails that are 44% stronger is what they claim. They also have the opening that allows the T-slot nuts to just drop in and slide across versus having to unscrew it and toss in your nuts and screw it back in for your cross rails. These are the Ridgeline handles. We're gonna end up tossing in some Baja lights for scenic lighting. And for the price of these, they're really nice to have to be able to access the roof. I think that's it for the roof rack. Mully panels. Prince's kind of changing the game, the way that they do their mully panels. A lot of mully panels on the market just cover the window. You get two suction cups, but it's barely enough to fit like a Rotopax or like a Max Trax. What Prince is doing is they're actually taking up this whole space right here. Just enough room to clear the door. Probably got an inch there, probably an inch and a half. And then back here, you have a little bit more room just to accommodate for the door opening and just aesthetics. Now what we can do is we can shift this forward or backwards, have it hang off to like right here and be able to put like a shovel or a Rotopax or recovery gear, whatever. But now you have way more real estate to where these window panels actually make sense. Plus they come with these little suction cups that you can just press and it suction cups it down, opposed to like the press ones that eventually jiggle loose. It ruins the dynamics of your shock. That gentleman just rolled that Tacoma and then called us for an alignment. Sounds like he's happy with it. Anyway, the Peak 2.5 lift doesn't give you a full 2 inches. I think 2.25. I think what it came out to is about 2 inches from stock height, but it was way more than enough for us to be able to fit 35s in. What we did in the back is we removed that little cab mount plate that is 3 bolts, that's it. And then I trimmed just a tad bit right here, maybe 1/4 of an inch, just the metal right here on the bottom of the fender. And at full crank, stuffed, no rubbing. These are 35 12.5 17s on Stealth Custom Series FA16s with a plus 20 offset. So they do poke out a little bit more than our Tacoma. Our Tacoma is on 37s, and this is a plus 25 offset. So I would say this is probably an 1.25 inches, maybe 1.5 inches poke. And this is more like a solid 1.5 inches. Cool. Behind the tires, we also did add their upper control arm. Has the well-known bearings in the back that last forever, and then a uniball in the front. Great. I wouldn't say it's the best upper control arm for Idaho, because you do have to clean out that joint regularly. If you're not cleaning out that joint, it can cause wear and tear, which would wear them out a little bit quicker, but still a phenomenal choice and extremely strong. So we went with those. And then in the back, it was really, really simple. We added their 2-inch spacer in the rear, which is going to work perfectly because we do have a tent on the way. We have 2 tents on the way that we want to test, because I'm curious on the off-road side how much this thing is going to teeter, because on my 5th gen 4Runner, it teetered a lot, especially when you took a turn. It was like the tabletop was tipping over. And so I don't know if we're gonna get the same feel on the 6th gen 4Runner. I'm guessing we will, but we're gonna find out. After we did the suspension down at CBI, we also added in their sliders. This is the non-kick-out DOM slider. There are 4 attachment points, which make this an extremely strong slider. I also really like the gap here, because it allows it not only to act as protection, but also as a step. As you can see, the people that are entering and exiting this vehicle are using this as a step to get in, because the 35s with the 2-inch lift do elevate the vehicle quite a bit. The thing that is nice is there's no drilling or anything. This is a straight bolt-on application that uses factory holes to be able to mount the sliders and secure them properly. The last thing that we added was skid plates. These are their prototype aluminum skid plates. The final production of these skid plates are going to have some slight adjustments, mostly in the spacing in one of the front end bins to allow for better fitment. All we did was add a 1/4 inch body spacer to one of the arms to make it fit for our 4Runner, but they're making all those adjustments on the final ones. Then on the hood, we did do the ditch light brackets. We added some Squadron Pros to them. These are extremely bright and work great for spotlight off to the side. You can also add spotlights up there. A lot of people, instead of doing ditch lights that are going to interfere with your field or like view when driving, some people will toss them up there. Well, let's jump into the inside of the vehicle. I'm going to grab my tape measure, because I'm going to show you guys some of the measurements when the seat is fully back. I thought there was going to be a little bit more room in the back, but there isn't. So I'm going to grab my tape measure. On the back side here, some of the cool features that they didn't have on the 5th gen is you can actually unlock, roll down, and everything just off this. Hold it down. And maybe they did, but my 4Runner didn't have that. Hold it. Goes up. I like it. This is one whole piece. These little Toyotas are gloss opposed to textured on the SR5 models. And then you get the 4Runner emblem on the bottom. Oh, the interesting thing is this is the same frame as the LX and the GX, and extremely similar as the Tacoma, where the frame comes up and then right at the very end back here, it like droops down a little bit and then comes across, which makes it very difficult to add a rear bumper or front bumper, because you can't just unbolt the subframe and bolt a bumper onto it. It's going to take more and possibly cutting and modification to be able to add a full rear bumper to this while giving more clearance, or otherwise this hitch isn't coming up. In this SR5, we have a little storage cubby here. We got our jack supplies right here, cup holders, and they even got little molly slots here, so if you want to mount like flashlights and gear. And then back here we have roughly to where the latch comes down 4 feet is to right here. Usable space, I'm going to put that at 39 inches. Width is really similar, so at the skinniest point we got 44 inches, and then at the widest point 55.5. Roof to the top, basically 38 inches. You can go 38.5 if you were to get rid of this little rug probably. And then you have the option of having this guy. Somehow ours came with it, which is just like a little security cover. Ugh. So if you got gear in here that you don't want people seeing, you can toss this down so it keeps it all hidden. We got the cloth seats. What's really nice is it does come with like a little triangular hexagonal design. It has high points and low points to avoid friction and just wear and tear. It does have some nice side padding to kind of keep you in the vehicle. The door panels are super similar to the Tacoma. They have the MOLLE panels down below and up top. And I'm 99% sure that our door skins are gonna fit these almost identically. If not, they're gonna be very, very close. Same shape here, same shape up top. And then the dash part is all the same, which is super, super smart on Toyota's part because it just makes the efficiency of making these vehicles easier, even though the price keeps on going up. Hopefully that in the long run equates to cheaper replacement parts. Steering wheel is the same controls, same shape, same auxiliary switch panel here, opposed to giving you 3 spots like the 3rd gen or whatever. What do we have here? 12 with 2 additional, so 14 spots. And then not to mention the 5 that you have right here. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 spots for accessories. That's a lot of wires. So I guarantee something's gonna come out where it clicks in here. That's a switch system. Shifter's the same, drive modes are the same. Basically the interior is the same, but this is what the screen looks like on a basic SR5, a smaller screen. No JBL up front, but the sound system still sounds pretty dang good. Okay, so I'm gonna put the seat all the way back. Let's measure clearance. It's crazy. Okay, let's bring this thing up where it might normally be. 5 inches. Do allow 5 inches, let me tell you. Okay. It's tight. It's tight. Over here I have it moved forward just a little bit. I mean, just an extra 2 inches does make it a lot better. And I have long legs, like I am 90% legs. So if I can fit back here, I mean, obviously you're doing a little man spread going on right now, but there's quite a bit of room. Not a ton of room, but and less than you would expect, but you can fit back here. On the back of the center console here, we have 2 USB charging ports that I'm guessing are going to be 45 watts apiece. Up front, you have the same 2 ports, just like in the Tacoma. Drop this down. So that seat does come up, which does extend your bed an additional, I don't know, usable space, probably 16 inches. Other than that, that's all you're getting. Cool. Rear doors, there is no cup holder down here, but you do get a cup holder right here that is approximately 3 inches wide. A very nice spot for a Red Bull. Then you get a little bit of MOLLE, just enough for like an iPhone. Your iPhones are normally about 6 inches. So toss an iPhone in there, but then a lot of the same modeling as the front doors and then as the Tacoma. So this one off the lot was $45,000 essentially. The Tacoma was $43,000. This one is a basic SR5 with some tech. This was our TRD off-road with all the tech. So I asked them, you know, what's one of these going to run TRD off-road with all the tech? They said depending on which tech, it's going to range from 52 to 55. Okay, and that's MSRP. So plan to spend at least $3,000 to $10,000 more for the same trims going from Tacoma to 4Runner. So 4Runners are just going to be more expensive. You are getting more material on the back side of it. The other thing I want to check was wheelbase for the 4Runner versus our Tacoma. Wheelbase of this is basically 10 feet. Give or take an inch or 2. And then the wheelbase for our Tacoma is 11 feet. So the Tacoma is longer for sure. Come on, Joe. But the front suspension, a bunch of the other things are very, very similar and probably transfer back and forth. We're gonna find out if that front clip does transfer, especially because so many people are not a fan of the 4th gen 4Runner's front end, and so maybe an option for them here at our shop would be swapping from a 6th gen 4Runner front end to a 4th gen Tacoma front end if that's absolutely what they want. So from this video, guys, leave us some questions, comments, everything down below. We are going to do a part 2 to this once a bunch of comments have kind of accumulated, and then we'll do a part 2 that goes over all those questions, comments, and other things, especially off-roading in our new 6th gen, to just give you more insight to see if this vehicle is the right one for you. And remember, we're going to have all of our decals, door skins, accessories, and everything for these 4Runners. So if you're looking for an easy place to purchase to fully outfit your vehicle, always come to us here at Taco Vinyl. We appreciate you guys. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a comment. We'll see you guys on the next video.